All right, a good intro. I think it was just short enough to not be picked up for a copyright. I got a bunch of those. Seems pretty easy. In fact, getting strikes, it's always going to be easier than getting hits, right, or home runs. But I think it's even more strict than the copyright laws themselves. So anyway, topic for another time, another discussion. I'm on the way home, getting into some traffic, and I was thinking about a discussion I'm having with one of the CAs at work. She's a freaking genius, and she recently, well, about 3-4 years ago, had her first child, and started waking up through health, waking up, towards health consciousness, becoming health consciousness, health conscious. And, I guess we're all health conscious to a degree, but, some of us are like, I just don't care about my health, and, or, it's not a priority. And even if our health, could be failing, a lot of my patients, their health is failing, it may not be their priority, right? They don't come to their appointments, they got excuses, they're running businesses, and that's priority, making the money, right? And you got to eat. Right? Like, there's certainly a hierarchy of priorities. Get your, stuff straight is what they say. But anyway, the purpose of this video is a lot of the patients asking me, about general health, about support, holistic health support. That's the purpose of this channel, right? Because I got 2 minutes on the table with you, and I'm stretching it out to 5 or 7 because I'm trying to give you some nutrition tips. You got lots of questions. There's no way I can't even answer them in an hour, all right? But what I'm thinking is we're going to do Tuesday nights, or no, probably more like Thursday nights. We can do new patient orientation and nutrition, or ask me anything, question Q&A sessions with the doc, about chiropractic, holistic health, natural health, and I keep repeating myself a lot throughout the day. So what was I saying? What were some things I was saying today? Right? Like, maybe the chiropractors, especially like Dr. McCullum specifically, is not, bashing the medical industry whatsoever. A lot of chiropractors are heavily immersed in allopathic medicine, is what we call Western medicine, right? So we're talking about drugs and surgeries and, MRIs and all that techno stuff. And that's all good, and testing, even if it's not too technical. And there's nothing wrong with testing, although sometimes we may not have time to test. Like chiropractors may have a lot of adjustments lined up, and they don't do a lot of checking or double checking. They just do more adjusting than checking. And they kind of intuitively check, or, they know the patients, and so they have expectations. But me personally, I'm not a checker. I don't draw my blood. I'm not checking my blood. And, it's not that I don't care. I think definitely, a complete blood count we were doing in the lab in school back in the days. I sat there with a clicker counting white blood cells on, with a light microscope, frame by frame, for long sessions, hour-long sessions, whatever, just clicking away, and then multiplying, estimating, averaging, white blood cell count, and all these different breakdowns. So very valid. I'm not bashing Western science or testing, but it's kind of like, what's the point, right? If you want to get your blood checked, why? Do you think you're deficient in some vitamins or minerals? You probably are, right? So it's safe to assume you can skip the whole testing process. Just go right to supplementing or changing your diet, right? Because let food be thy medicine. Who was that? Hippocrates or some genius? I may not be that smart, but I'm smart enough to know that somebody smart said that, all right? It makes sense to me. So I think ideally, if you believe in evolution, evolutionary biology, evolutionary circadian biology, these are the things I'm talking about. So, patients would ask me, hey, should I get surgery? Okay, one patient, right, his finger was clutching up, And I hit it a few times with the activator, basically stretched it, took it through a few ranges of motion, got it moving night and day. He said for 3 weeks he couldn't move his finger. He wasn't even going to ask me about it. He's just thinking about surgery. Why? Because he grew up, with allopathy. He's got hardware in his spine. The guy's fused together with screws and plates and stuff, metal in your spine. Was not supposed to really be there. I mean, it's supposed to have, but we get into car accidents and we do, majorly traumatic things. We traumatize our bodies and break them. So what are these poor surgeons supposed to do, right? I can't bash the surgeons. I love them. They do great artistic work. I saw an x-ray today, disc replacements. They go in there on the spine. Okay, I haven't seen the surgeries, but beautiful work. And I see a lot of old, surgeries like baling wire and duct tape kind of jobs, screws here and there, all kinds of fakakta stuff, like scary. And and then they have to redo the hip replacement. I've seen some hairy, scary hip replacements, but they're doing great work now. They got these little, vertebral end plate replacements that are like titanium, maybe Teflon. I know they're experimenting with different things, and the body tends to reject a lot of materials, so it's hard for them not to be rejected. But disc replacement science, it's not really perfected. I was watching 30 years ago, before I went to chiropractic school in the 2000s, well, 20 years ago. That's how I started really getting into it. And I started going to chiropractor, but I had satellite TV. I had like 500, 1,000 channels, more than I could want to watch. And I was down, in the depths of those college channels. It was Washington State, I believe, maybe Seattle University, and they have the symposium on lower back pain every year, and they get the lower back pain specialists from around the world. Don't quote me, but this is what I remember roughly. And the surgeons, a lot of surgeons, and they're presenting what's new, what's kind of getting old, what were we doing last year? How did that work out? What have they abandoned, the surgeons? What devices work better than others? The cages, the fusions, do we leave it alone? What does the data say in the research? And so they were compiling a lot of data, doing a lot of different surgeries, experimental stuff out of Germany. People would fly to Germany to get a disc replacement. And, like maybe they fuse you, right? But then there's a space missing if the disc is gone. Maybe almost a quarter of an inch or an eighth of an inch, for sure, depending where it is. And so then they started using spacers and, different materials. And, it's not easy. That's why I'm not a surgeon, right? It's not because I don't have the mental capability to do it. I certainly could do it. And I thought I might be squeamish about cutting into bodies and blood. I had a blood thing after seeing Jaws as a young kid. Not recommended, but I was traumatized. Anyway, I got over it with the wet labs, and so I could easily be a surgeon. Well, I don't know about easily. It ain't easy. I would have to go back through medical school. They don't just give me a pass, although they should. They probably wouldn't count like any of my credits. They'll make me start over from near zero, and then internship. And the hazing. It's tough. It's tough, and I'm not even allopathic, so I would never survive it because they're really, pushing pharmaceuticals. And look, if it's an emergency and some kind of chemical, whether it's a pharmaceutical or nutraceutical or I don't even care, garlic. We used to have the discussion, is garlic a drug? And it's like almost anything that's going to affect your physiology could be considered a drug. But in the government here in America has their definition, a legal definition of a drug. And I don't know exactly what that is, but it's physiologically altering. It's altering your physiology from the outside in, right? And the deep, true chiropractic, non-mixing philosophy, straight chiropractors, cis chiropractors, they kind of believe in that. It's an inside-out or an above-down, inside-out philosophy. The power that made the body heals the body. So it needs no interventions, and the least interventions. I mean, sometimes if you scramble it in a car wreck so bad that it can't fix itself, we got to patch it together. God bless the surgeons. They're doing their best. All right. That being said, I mean, how could you disagree with the idea of avoiding surgery? I mean, I guess there's some people who want surgery. There was a point when I had so much back pain, I was like, please give me the surgery, because I associated that with being out of pain. Like, fix me. I didn't really want surgery. I wanted to be fixed, right? And so that was the only way I could see feasible, a quick fix. We all want a quick fix. And sometimes, you know, maybe you can't fix it quick, but you want to get out of pain quick. And that's why painkillers are popular. And we've developed this tablet culture, pill culture. All right? It's quicksand, people. We got to beware of the idea that I'm just going to pop this tablet and it's going to make me better. No, this external substance, you know, God bless the pharma, okay? You know, the people who make these miracle drugs or whatever, or these powerful drugs, you know, even though they all have side effects and eventually kill you, you know, in an emergency situation, the side effects usually aren't going to kill you. It's the chronic, it's the long-term daily use and multi, you know, uses per day, like people on all kinds of medications, you know, multiple, and then they don't even know how to interact and mix. It's a crazy world, right? So the idea to live without drugs, without surgery, sounds pretty simple, but in the Western world, that's what's up. And so it's kind of hard to live outside of that world. But in my heart of hearts, people, I honestly do believe that, you know, the power that made the body heals the body. It's a self-healing mechanism. You cut your arm, you cut your hand, and within a few days it scars up. I don't need to really meditate on healing it. I don't even have to pay attention to it. I could go focus on, I don't know, chasing birds, and my hand's just going to heal regardless, right? Assuming I'm giving it the nutrition, I'm not stressed out, you know, I'm sleeping and taking care of my health, right? So most of us know what we could do to heal and be healthier. We want to keep moving, exercise. Chiropractic is like exercise. It's a form of exercise. You're exercising the joints. We're exercising a demonic stuck joint. All right, we're getting the demons out, getting the joints moving. We're extending the range of motion, right? If you're 99% range and then, you know, maybe you got a little neck pain, right? Maybe the nerve is pinched. You need 100% range of motion. And if you're not moving through 100% range of motion every day in your joints, they're gonna get stiff. And they'll get stiffer and stiffer. If you don't move your arm, like the one-arm yogi in India, he's got his arm up in the air for 30 years. It went necrotic. I'm surprised he didn't, you know, he didn't die, get gangrene from it. But, you know, the body preserved it. He's got like a mummified arm. He'll never move it. He hasn't moved it in 50 years or something. I don't know. It's kind of gross and scary and weird, but I don't think I've seen the guy in person. Although I could imagine I did. I'm pretty sure I've seen just videos. But I've been to India twice and pretty vivid memories there. I met God. Another story for another time. All right? I'm God's chiropractor's chiropractor. For those of you who didn't know, better ask somebody. And I don't know if Snoop knows, but we're here at Moss Landing and I'm distracted by nature, baby. Still sitting in traffic. But yeah, so surgery out. If you want to ask me, hey, should I get surgery? No. Try to avoid it at all costs. I mean, if you're going to die, it's a last-ditch effort and you have to, you know, do the surgery, great. If it's a small surgery, maybe removing a cyst or this and that, I mean, of course there's always risk, but you got to, it's risk versus reward. So when contemplating surgery, risk versus reward, right? And it's hard to factor in all the numbers. Get, you know, get a wide, broad view. Make sure you recalculate and get many opinions before taking the plunge. But, you know, generally I would try to avoid it at all costs, just for the downside potential. There's always risk. If it's risk-free, hey, fantastic, go. Right? It's the risk we want to avoid. So, you know, drugs, pharmaceuticals, herbs. Should I take herbs? Should I supplement? What's the risk? Right? What's the reward? Right? Like if you're nutrient deficient, vitamins, You go get a vitamin supplement, a multivitamin, daily multivitamin, highly recommended usually, and most wouldn't argue with that. But is there any risk? Well, yeah, you could go out and get some cheaply made brand that's full of toxins, and you could have a reaction and die from trying to take a multivitamin and do something better for your health, right? Just like people want to inject vitamin C. What if you get a injection site reaction or an infection? For some reason the needle wasn't clean or something, right? Oops. You know, oh, we used the HIV needle that had blood in it from the last patient. Sorry. Grabbed the wrong needle. My bad. And now you got HIV, supposedly, right? So, perhaps. Yeah, so, you know, what's the risk? It would seem like little risk to take an injection, right? So, if you think, oh, I really need the vitamin C or a super boost of vitamin C for whatever reason, and you think the only way you can get it is through an injection instead of orally, like through food, let food be thy medicine, right? Why not go pound a pineapple juice or a grapefruit or a citrus drink, or have some broccoli sprouts, right? Kiwi, I don't know, there's foods that like you can get 3,000%, or like superfoods, like you can get a lot of vitamin C, boom, instantly. And I'm talking foods, people, natural, juices, good, all right? Ascorbic acid, they call it vitamin C, beware, all right? Talk to Rhonda Patrick about it. You get the details from her. But yeah, I don't have any research to recite on it. Just check it out. You could ask Snoop. Anyway, back on track. Sorry, I'm driving. Got to be careful. We're doing, 40 miles an hour here. It's not COVID. Just a throat tickle, all right? So, we're passing the farms here. Strawberries to the left. They're talking about avocados and kiwis. Boom, farmer's market is open. I saw citrus on the stands. Spring is here. It's like April, it's like May. It's almost May 1st. April 27th, 8th, something like that. And yeah, get your citrus on. We've been getting a lot of grapefruits coming into the office. I'm going to get me a juicer. I've been threatening for a long time. But as soon as I got an extra 400 buccarinos, it's going to a juicer. I think I'm ready for a spring cleanse. And we're talking about some grapefruit juice. Love me some carrot juice. I'm a big fan of juicing for supplement. Get yourself some organic carrots and go nuts. I don't care about the sugar in the carrots. Even if you're obese, you're probably eating processed foods and sugars and stuff like that. So, put down the coffee with the sugar or the chocolate milk or whatever it is, the lemonade or, the artificial sweeteners. So, I could go on for days. People ask me about nutrition and all that, and it's like, OMG. Like, I'll do an hour a week. Come every week. We could bring your questions. We'll transcribe the videos into books. I don't have to write a book. You could just, do me a favor. I won't have to type. I can't sit at a computer. It'll wreck my neck. All right, so don't get me into ergonomics and posture. Let's just stick to get away from the tablet culture, all right? Pills are not going to fix you. No more than this peppermint candy is really going to fix me. Now, might it help my digestion? Yeah. Might some peppermint do some goods? Who knows? Is it prebiotics I'm consuming to support my healthy gut bacteria? Right? So that's a big consideration. Let's also talk about light poisoning, right? Screens at night, computers, phones at night. I do videos on this. Some people never heard of this concept. Many people know of it, but they don't think it's more important than what they're eating. They think, oh, I should get healthy, I should do a detox, clean up my diet. Great. But I don't hear anybody saying, oh, I gotta get healthy, I should move to the country, get away from 5G, 4G, AM, FM, UHF, VHF, military radar. They got satellites beaming down electromagnetic field, supposedly. So they're non-native electromagnetic fields, right? They're not native to the earth. They are through humans, but as much as humans are natural, but if you want to say humans are unnatural, blasphemer. I'm not a transhumanist. Okay, I mean, I don't know, maybe I could be recruited. I don't hate, but I'm not pushing that agenda at the moment. So anyway, Jack Cruz, neurosurgeon deluxe, super genius, says to the diabetics that, don't blame sugar for what light did to you. So we're talking about light poisoning, blue light, especially at night, gonna be real bad. Talk about the colors in the morning, waking up to see the sunrise, building your melatonin, setting your circadian clock, right? It knows, hey, it's morning. We see the orange sun coming up and the reds, and we get hit with the light. It triggers the optic chiasm and the pineal gland, right, into the pituitary, right, which is the controller, the master endocrine gland, right? So light is really controlling the endocrine system. I like to tell people, take control through biofeedback and breath, right? Like Wim Hof breathing, deep, slow breathing. You can keep your, adrenaline down. You can get out of that fight or flight stage, unless you've been locked in it and you're just out of control. It's beyond, a few deep breaths. But you'd be amazed how surprised how well that does, because I have to relax people, and I have 2 minutes or 3 minutes to adjust people, and they come in all hyped up. And so my trick is, hey, lay down, relax immediately. Well, you're asking a lot, just lay down and relax. You're asking too much. We give them a couple minutes to heat up, take a few deep breaths, but that's good control of your nervous system, right? Your autonomic nervous system is not really consciously controlled. Your fight or flight mechanism isn't really consciously controlled. And I say really, right, with a kind of twang, because the air quotes implied are that, right, well, you're not directly, but you are, because through breathing, it does control physiology, right? The CO2 in the blood, it definitely is going to change. You start breathing slow and deep, the heart rate's going to drop, the blood pressure is going to drop, assuming the physiology is functioning normally. Now, if you're not, you're pumped full of adrenaline, you probably breathe as slow as you want, you're still going to want to, launch yourself to the moon and fly to the moon without wings. So yeah, a lot of my patients are subluxated at T12, the adrenaline's pumping, and so I'm adjusting T12, T10, the whole T9 adrenal area, T8 even, turning it off, right? People are too overexcited, they can't rest, they're not resting deep enough, not sleeping deep enough. So you want to heal, get some good sleep, get chiropractic adjustments. Most of the people listening to this are my patients, so they're already getting adjusted, right? So they don't need to hear that. What they need to hear, and I tell them on the table, breathe, 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 right? Unobstructed breathing is preferred, and if you could get some fresh air, better, right? If you can move to the country, eat you a lot of peaches, you'd be happier. So be happier, get yourself some fun, put it in your schedule. Get down to the beach. We're here in California, Santa Cruz. You can breathe a lot of good fresh air. And what? So diet, light trumps diet all day. Let's just start simple. Start hydrating, right? You can do some fasting. Intermittent fasting will be in the early stages of cleansing, and will be a large part, unless for some reason you cannot fast or intermittent fast. But there's always going to be some type of fast, right? That's what cleansing triggers the body to cleanse and detox and dump the toxins. A lot of the toxins stored in the fat. So we dump some fat, we'll dump a lot of toxins out of the system. And so diet, exercise. Is there a tablet I can take, doc? Is there something I can take? Well, yeah, there's lots of things you can take. You can get molybdenum, bentonite clay, draw some, toxins out of the system. We got the True Cellular Detox Program, which is where a lot of this stuff, right? And then a lot of it's vitamins. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I've been looking at the products on the shelf, and it's vitamin supplements. Tends to be really good quality vitamin supplements, which makes a difference. And, maybe people can't afford all these top quality supplements, but like I say, food is like medicine. Get some food, get some sprouts, get some microgreens, get a whole food daily vitamin supplement. I get the My Kind brand from Trader Joe's, and I'm not pumping any of those companies or brands, but that's what I use personally, and it's affordable. So I don't spend tons of money on supplements. If you're a bodybuilder or an athlete, you may need to supplement more. If you're going to push your body to superhuman levels, then you're going to need superhuman routines and diet and nutrition, and so support your lifestyle. If you're stressed out, you may not be absorbing the vitamins even if you have a perfect diet. So let's work on that, is probably a top priority. If you're majorly stressed out, start working on the breathing. Get you a nice walk. Get outdoors. Hang out with some trees. Maybe go down to the beach and take a walk. All right? So for now, people, I think you got a good start. Start hydrating a little more. And some good fats. Coconut oil. Get some in the house. Maybe some good olive oil and some, I don't know, you protein supplementers, look into hemp. Hemp milk's probably the least inflammatory milk, I'm pretty sure, out there. There's A2 dairy, raw. Get your salmon wild caught. Check out Superfoods, book by David Wolf. I did a video, it's here. All right, the information's there. I'm being redundant. I got 20, 30 videos up there. I covered a lot of stuff. Yeah, we're going to have some classes with questions and answers. And I'll come donate my time or whatever, make my time available at a really high fee. Better yet, I like the sound of that one. But probably not to you. Ultimately. Anyway, don't be afraid to pay the price for help. Sometimes you got to get a little worse before you get a little better. You go to the gym, you might get a little sore. Whatever, you got to dedicate 3, 4, 5 hours a week to exercise over the years. That's a lot of hard work. Staying in shape can be a lot of hard work. But it's easier once you're in shape and you've got a decent diet and low stress. But exercise is a key to getting rid of the stress. It's a great way. And there's no excuses. People in wheelchairs do hot Bikram yoga. I've been there. And so, get your freak on, get your sweat on. It's a great way to detox. Let your pores open up, skin, the integumentary system, right? The lymph will dump toxins through the sweat glands and out the pores. Good way to detox. Get your sweat on. If you can't exercise, you can get a sauna, infrared sauna bag. Make it happen. No excuses, all right? Get a heater. Lock yourself in a closet. But don't freaking suffocate and say, I told you to do it. All right, people, I'm running longer and longer. I never stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. Where's Diddy? Diddy! All right, people, peace and love. I'm out. Oh, peace, love, and health. Good health.